Hello. Yes, so nice to meet you. Yeah, have a seat. I know. I am so excited to plan this trip for you. Um, when was the last time you took a vacation? Okay. I like to say it is always time for vacation, so you're overdue. Me too. Wonderful. Well, first off, I am just going to ask you some questions to get an idea of what you're looking for a trip. Does that sound okay? Great. All right, first off, if you had to give your need for a break a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 meaning I could use a break, it could be fun, to 10, like, oh man, I really need a break, I'm losing my mind. Okay. Yes. Well, this will help. Okay. As far as an itinerary, are you looking for more of a laid back kind of vibe, or are you looking for a more active adventure vibe? Okay. Sure. Yeah, that makes total sense. All right. Are you more of a window seat or an aisle seat kind of person? Yeah, more metaphorically. Although I'll write that down for flights as well. Right, and when you travel, do you like to have your itinerary planned out hour by hour, day by day? Or do you just kind of like to walk out the door and see what's around? Or maybe somewhere in the middle? Okay. And can you remind me who you're traveling with? Is this a solo trip? Are you traveling with family, with kids, friends? Okay. Great. Yes, well, that will impact what kind of hotels we can get, as well as what kind of activities we do. There are lots of child friendly activities everywhere, but not everything is child friendly. Right. I'm sure you're very familiar. All right, so now I'm going to talk about more location specific, and we'll go back to more activities, but I'm going to flip through and you can go through some of these as well. I have several traveler magazines here. Ooh, this one looks fun. And we'll see what you're kind of feeling as we flip through these, okay? So we have Summer Escapes. Summer Escapes. So this looks like Portugal, Vancouver, and New Zealand. Oh, this is an ad, I think, but kind of cottagey. There is Utah. If you wanted to do more US driving type of a trip, a road trip. Ooh, that is beautiful. This is St. Petersburg, Russia. Beautiful. So let me just scroll through a little bit. So here's Vancouver. It's a very fun, lively city. You can see he is kayaking. And Utah. Ooh, got the hot air balloons. So do you see yourself focusing more on the areas that you're visiting, the climate that you're visiting, or would you like to go at a unique time where there's maybe a unique event like the hot air balloon festival, or maybe a holiday in the area? Okay. Yeah, let's keep flipping through. Slovenia. So I'm seeing several types of things. Here's a couple where it's more tropical. And we also have more mountainous, scenic bike rides, things like that. Ooh, and Paris. Yes, that's why I like these. They show a good variety of locations. So as I'm scrolling through, how do these areas feel to you? Would you prefer something a bit more tropical? Are you thinking more arid? Okay. And then, of course, beaches or mountains. Okay. And would you like something more secluded, or do you want to be right in the center of all the action? Okay, let me just write all that down. Okay. Yeah. And as far as activities, we saw lots going through there. Again, you can go through these as well. But the kind of activities, very broadly, you can do snorkeling, surfing, hiking, mountain biking, paragliding. There's also lots of fun local-based activities, more cultural learnings, getting to experience what life is like in those areas rather than for tourists. Which of those things sound appealing to you? Okay. Okay. And a very important question, what kinds of food do you like? Yes, so good. Do you ever try to make that yourself? Okay. We could find a cooking class while you're there as well. Sometimes it's fun to get the real authentic experience. Yeah. All right. And are you interested in seeing any of the wildlife? Okay. Wonderful. I didn't ask also, are you planning on bringing any pets with you? That can have its own set of challenges. Yep, it's a lot easier to drive with a pet. Great. Right, and also, are you looking for anything historic, whether that be a landmark, a building, anything like that? Okay, yes. Any specifics are welcome. Yes. Oh, is that how you pronounce it? No idea. Like, I can book travel, can't always pronounce things. One more of those type questions. Do you usually gravitate towards things that feel comforting and homey to you, or do you usually gravitate towards things that are unique and very outside of your norm? Okay. Yes, is it more of an experience or comfort? And sometimes, and that's more of just, yeah, what people are comfortable with. If you haven't traveled a lot, sometimes it's nice to be a little bit more comfortable, or if being around people or in new places is hard, it's helpful for me to find things that help you really enjoy your vacation. Absolutely. Everybody's totally different, needs their own set of things. Yeah, I guess to that note, is there anything that really helps you when you're traveling? Whether that be medication, do you listen to things? Is having a specific store nearby or something nearby that you can go to center yourself? Is there anything like that that really helps you when you're traveling? Okay. Honestly, like for me, just having headphones is so helpful. So I can listen to some ASMR. That's how I sleep at night. So, if I'm in a new place that's loud, I need to be able to close everything out. Yep. All right. So, I want you to look at my globe, and I want you to tell me as I'm spinning the first place that comes to mind. The first place that really stands out to you. Okay. Alright, let's keep going and see what stands out next. This just helps me see if there's any subconscious things that might help me decide on a location. Okay. Very interesting. Have you been to any of those places? Okay. Yeah, can you tell me exactly where you visited in the past? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. So with this trip, are you wanting to visit totally new places, or would you like to revisit one of those places you really enjoyed? Okay, yeah. Great. And I will, once I gather all this information, I'll send it to you to approve. And I always have a couple backup options as well in case you're realizing you want something different than what you've explained to me here, or realizing that you don't want to, go to a place you've been to and you forgot to mention, that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Now, these questions are going to be a bit more abstract. But again, it's just to get a bigger sense of who you are and what interests you. Okay. So what is a smell that instantly transports you somewhere, whether good or bad? Okay. Yeah, I hear a lot of specific foods will do that. Like banana bread instantly transports me to my grandma's house. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. Yeah. Yes, that makes sense. What is a texture that you associate with travel? Like for an example, maybe it's something like leather, and that could be because of passports. It reminds you of passports, reminds you of suitcases or journals. It could be maybe it's metal. So maybe metal reminds you of travel. Maybe you think of metal detectors at TSA. I don't know. Or it could be paper. Maybe you think of books. Like maybe you read on all of your trips, and so you think of paper. Or maybe you think of clothes. Maybe you get a new set of clothes every time you travel, a new outfit, a new swimsuit. Yeah, that makes sense. Great. Right. Are you the type of person that takes photo after photo everywhere you go? Or do you like to just sit back and enjoy the view and be in the moment? Neither one is wrong. Okay. I'd imagine most people are somewhere in the middle. Right. If you could speak any language fluently for a day, what would it be? Yeah, let's just say you were anywhere at any time. What language? Okay. Yep. Oh. That's really creative. Yeah. You never know how people are going to answer questions. If you were to describe yourself as a color, what would it be? My daughter has always been yellow to me and to the rest of her family. I like how you're answering these. How about an animal? If you were an animal, what would you be? Okay. I asked one of the AI bots what I was, and it told me I was a beaver because I help build things, help plan things. Yeah. I don't know if that's what I'd actually pick, but I do have that from a recent source. Yeah. Exactly. And lastly, is there a place that you go to in your mind when you're trying to fall asleep or relax? Is there a specific location, real or fictional? Yeah, like your happy place. Okay. Yes, you don't have to be afraid that any of these questions will like wipe out the others. I will consider them all together. Yeah. Alright, I have one last thing, but I'll do that as you're leaving. So thank you for answering all these questions. I will get back to you shortly with some options, like I said, to run by you. I want to look through all this and really process it a little bit before I get back to you. Yeah, if you have any questions or realized anything you didn't say here that's important, please feel free to message me. I know it's really hard in the moment to say everything. Yeah. Okay. So now I have these postcards. I like to give everyone who comes in here one of them. So, looks like one of them is inside out. So I will just scroll through, and if you see one that catches your eye, try to remember it, and then I'll pull it out for you later, okay? Make sure you see all of them first. This might be a little bit of a test. Sorry, some of these are sideways. I'm trying not to influence you.